Okay, so this, I just ran this by Jack and a couple of people. I have a YouTube stream going. So it's text chat only. My thought with that was recording the Zoom, otherwise it's gonna have all of the pictures of everyone who's in the Zoom
Right.
up there as well, which I think would maybe cloud.
Yeah,
So
right.
this, I just ran. Hey, look, I've started hearing my own voice and feedback to it. But this is a text chat right here,
Okay.
which I can get a transcript of, so everyone who joins this can still communicate like that, but the video is just the video.
Right. Oh, cool.
Which I think might be better.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then I have this URL, which I need to distribute.
Okay.
Hi. To who?
Oh,
I can text it to you and you can forward it. I can email it to you and you can forward it.
Because my cousins and my aunt are different.
Okay. You have a rough idea of who wants to be able to remote in?
I don't know who Carla sent the link to.
Okay. So this is the new and current link. It is up right now, so they can hop into it immediately.
Okay.
Okay. The live stream is up. And I texted the link to Lori. I don't know who else. I don't have a distribution list, so
that's fine.
Where's the link?
I just texted it to you. It's that. So you just hold that.
There's a delay.
Yeah, it's about a 5-second delay. So the link is copied in here.
Okay. Of course, I can't see.
Can you help Allie with the scroll of the Lord's Prayer?
I would love to.
Email it to us.
Just the raw file?
Yeah, the slides would be
It's
perfect.
on that.
It is, but we can't get the video to scroll, so we're gonna see if maybe emailing it might work.
Sure.
Yeah.
Just the video of the Lord's Prayer.
Yeah, perfect if you have that.
Alright.
Or like the full slides again, either way. Maybe both.
Got it. Yes. So
For the slides, if you send that, we just have to make those changes.
Yes.
Which is easy to try to scroll.
Yeah. And if we do have just the video, we can freeze the picture, switch to the video.
And I'll
DAR. I'm sorry, I didn't catch it.
Oh, sorry.
DO. Yeah.
DORMIREJ @ Gmail.
Oh, because I put the video into a slide in Sheets. Yeah, that's all busted. That's a whole thing.
No worries. No worries.
Sorry, it's at 500 megs. It's trying
No worries,
it's trying
no
to
worries.
send.
So just to be sure there's no confusion, I'll have to copy this.
Yes. Yeah. Yes, I'll take care of. That's fine.
Is it?
Yeah. I figured you'd talk.
It's up right now. Is it that it just wouldn't play back? Is it a video format issue?
On the phone, it just would not start. So it would take us to another link to download, but then
Yeah,
we
that's
couldn't download it.
annoying and stupid. So I'm gonna do this. It's a PC, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Can I steal your phone to send myself that link so I can put it on the internet?
It's in my recent text to Lori.
What's your password?
1514.
Thanks.
Oh wait, hold on. I have a better idea. There are like 4 or 5 synapses still firing. My dude, I have it running already. I didn't know what the deal was, but it's
Okay.
I have it running already.
So the Zoom's good.
I have the Zoom up. I also did live stream to YouTube, which is just so they don't have to use the app or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just a web
Okay.
link. So I texted your mom and Katie the link to the YouTube stream. And so they're starting to share that around.
Okay, so how, because we sent out the login for Lori's Zoom,
It should be the same.
it's the same.
I would love it if people would use the YouTube link so that the recording doesn't also have their videos in it. Because like if they turn their video on, it'll like make this tiny and like it'll be a bunch of faces, and that's sweet and all, but the YouTube link is like they can still chat with each other.
Okay, okay, so because I have to, because we're basically doing the Zoom for Auntie Arlene.
Okay.
So I need to send a messenger to people with the YouTube link, and I'm not sure how to do that.
Okay, here. How about this? Somehow I don't have your. So I just fired an email with a direct Google Drive download.
Perfect.
And then this is going to finish copying a hard copy of it in
That's
10
awesome.
seconds.
Thank you.
Okay, so the only thing
What's your
is,
cell phone number?
Chris is. When you kids come walking down the aisle, we need a fucking that.
What's your cell phone?
602 540 7344. In the designated reserved rows. Yes.
It's immediate. It's the kids and the grandparents.
Okay, so how do I
I just have to come to
send it to Messenger?
Dutch.
I've been fine. I've been fine
And that's just.
until I got here.
Text me the top.
Oh. I'm glad, I'm glad, I'm glad.
What was I just doing? What else was happening? Oh, Katie, will you give this to, this is a hard copy of the, never mind.
Thank you, appreciate it, yeah.
Is the sound that I'm hearing, is that the video?
Yes.
We're playing your playlist of yours.
Okay, all right, actually, I'll probably do it. Kaka, get off your phone, you have to help me.
What?
First of all, say hi.
Hi.
All right, I'll have her do it now, okay?
Do what?
All right, I love you.
I love you too, my dear girl, and be good today, okay?
Okay. So what do we do? What do I do?
We
I
have
have a
to
YouTube.
email the link.
Yes,
We
I
have to
have it.
email to Carol.
Email
They
it
couldn't get
or
it on the text.
okay,
Email.
email it. So, okay. Okay, what's her email?
Pellis. Manley, MANLY, at Comcast.net. Oh, I wish I could see. Oh, actually, she just sent me
What?
her
Oh,
email. No, my glasses broke. Does that say, did you get it?
I just emailed you. Did you get it? Hi.
Okay, still attached, right?
Yeah.
And that'll just close to your mouth.
Does anyone have mints?
I do. I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know. I have
Make sure it doesn't move.
If it will, and now I know where to put it.
You're planning.
Um,
Is it okay to scroll that?
yeah,
With selection
do
bar?
whatever you need.
Because people are coming in, I'm just gonna tell them to start
I
sitting down.
am,
We start in 15
I
minutes.
am not driving
I'm
that,
shaking.
but
shaking?
Oh,
this is,
Okay, so
I don't know
it's-
who's
are we
driving that.
starting the link now?
It's live already.
It's already live.
It's live
Oh,
already.
okay.
She said not yet.
Well, the link wouldn't work on the. I know, but the link wouldn't work when you texted it.
No.
Can
I
you
can send it
can
to
you
her in Messenger.
can you click it and try opening it? Because it should be live right now.
Tell her I'll send it to her in Messenger.
Yeah, Lori. Can I get you to step a little bit to the left? I want to make sure that I have the right frame for the kids walking in. Do I want to be able to capture the front? Because isn't that where we're going to be placing our flowers?
Yeah, but see, that's why we needed someone to see the procession. And then someone to change it.
I don't have multi-camera.
You don't what?
I can't do multiple cameras.
No, I know. That's why I thought someone could, after you guys come up, maybe you could even come over here.
And what?
Just
And
move
it this way.
Yeah, like watch them walking up.
Yeah.
Wouldn't I rather watch them placing their flowers?
Oh, well, yeah, actually, Lori. Lori. Yes, yes. Watching them place the flowers, I think will be
Makes
fine.
more
Yes.
sense to me. Okay.
Oh, I'm so glad.
I know.
So
Can I help you in any way?
I don't necessarily think so. Will you just walk up to that and then off to the side? Perfect.
Miss Carla, I'm gonna go over here. Okay.
It's the tripod.
No, it's a stand for a wreath.
Oh, okay.
It's a stand that the wreaths go
They
on.
only brought one wreath. That's kind of annoying.
What?
I
That was
paid
the
for
thing?
Two. I paid for two of those white ones.
Is that not?
Yeah,
what
I
that
think
was?
that
paid for
belongs
two
to
of
the center.
exact same wreaths.
Yeah, that's because that's in a vase. Yeah. I went through that and I was like, hey, I got these two things for anxiety. And he's like, oh, I'm good. I took a Xanax. I'm like, oh, Western medicine. I'm
Yeah,
like, okay.
yeah.
He's like, yep.
We all got to get there, man.
Well, some of them block us.
Okay. I'm gonna be able to watch us come in and place our flowers.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna fall back to here where poor man's gaff tape.
Yeah.
Ripped up Post-it notes.
Oh, you're gonna switch the location.
I'm gonna just fall right back to that position because then I'll be able to see the speaker and the slideshow.
Nice. Oh, it reversed it. It reverses it.
Yeah, it's mirrored. It's
Oh, I'm
zoom-
like,
zoom-
wait,
I
what's
just-
going on? It's not on the right
Yeah.
side. Yeah. And what's up with your dad's filming, or this is it?
This is
This is the live stream.
the live stream, which is recording to my YouTube channel.
Right.
So
Oh, it's just on YouTube. And it's not on. So we cancel the Zoom.
It's on Zoom.
it's in Zoom, but that is separate so that people's
Can I have a hug?
faces aren't dipping in.
Yeah, sure people don't get to go, but
Hey, look, I got 4 people in here already.
Huh?
I got 4 people in here already.
Oh, okay.
Did you do your mom a big favor?
Yeah.
Just run the CVS and get me some readers. I can't see out of this. I broke my glasses. And I don't have to read. No, that's just wrong. Here,
yeah, I can do that.
here, just. Number 2. The strength. start.
What going on? We're setting up a video. Is this the
I'm
try?
the-
Is this
I'm
the
the
tripod?
whole- Yeah, the wreath stand. Yeah.
Have you seen Kate? Nicole was asking for. I think we're gonna get the. Oh, I just walked right by her. I think we're getting the cousins like out front right now. So I don't know.
Can you- so sorry. Will you just-
Oh, excellent.
So,
Someone already walked away with one of them.
So what are we gonna do? The
This
session?
is, I can, so from about here, I can see people's faces and I can see them placing their.
Okay.
And now I don't have to move across the whole room. I just have to
Okay.
fall back to right here before we start.
Okay, good. Okay.
So we need to not have to.
Yeah, this is my side. Oh, this corner.
Are you gonna go on top?
Um, Katie, do you have 45 seconds? Will you just go get a pair of mom's readers from her car?
Where's your mom?
She's on her way, but we have her car, which has some readers in it.
Just need to say you have a YouTube link. They changed it, so it's not through Zoom. If someone still goes to Zoom,
No, it's a different meeting. I can share you the link to the Zoom meeting though. I know, actually, I don't want people to go to Zoom. I want people to go to YouTube. I want people to go to YouTube.
Are you're streaming to?
I am streaming on YouTube and recording. Right.
it doesn't matter, as long as my activity is watching.
I've got there's 5 people watching already. So there's people that are in there and getting the link. You have that link if you need to share it with anyone else, like publish it. Hey, that's the key.
How old is this?
Claudia Gale, Christmas. Claudia's sister is representing her. Oh my God. Stop it.
We all sit together.
This one.
No, just we're not
Hey,
traveling.
this one's on
Well, I walked really fast in heels.
We're not going out.
I think further like moms is a 2.5.
Oh, see, I only used to. I was so hungry.
Do you want to keep this in case for some reason it pops out? Just so you don't have to pay?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm just gonna put it right in this little pocket.
Well, no, Claudia's not here, but Claudia's sisters represent. Yep. Yep.
That's my understanding.
This is easy enough. Um,
What happened?
you just have to
Is
grab
that a cue for them?
when we finish placing our flowers, repeat it, and then to capture the MC.
Oh, full.
Yeah, you just have to grab the whole thing right here because this is a flower cell. So if you get it by all four of these things, it won't fall.
Just be careful.
Hi, everybody. I think I know most people here, but for anyone who doesn't know me, I'm Katie. Connie, or Nani as I know her, is my grandma, and I had the great privilege of living with her for most of my childhood. It really fills my heart to see how many people are in this room who love our Nana so much, and how many people couldn't even be here. And I wanted to give a quick big thank you to everyone who made today possible. One thing that's been really important to us in planning this service has been to make sure that we honor Nana's Scottish heritage. So the heather that all of the grandkids placed around the urn is a really prolific flower in Scotland. And the song we heard playing my people is a traditional Scottish song. It's been sung on many occasions when Scots far from home have gathered, so from one spot to another, thank you you all for being here. As you can tell from our lengthy procession of grandkids, there are a lot more people here today that can talk. So we get to hear from Nana's kids today and our Uncle Jack. And I'll go ahead and hand it off to them from here. Aunt Lori is going to give a biographical sketch of Nana, and then after that, the kids will give the eulogies. Thanks again for being here.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for having me, honoring this amazing woman that everyone cherished, my mother. I'm Connie's oldest, Lori Jean Owen. And I'm just gonna, it's hard to sum up a life that almost lasted 87 years on this earth. And as Katie said, her Scottish heritage was so meaningful in her life and in my life too. So I'm just going to start with that. She was born on June 23rd, 1934. So she would have been 87 last Wednesday. She was born in Holyoke, Mass. Catherine Thompson and Peter Ducharme Bain. Bain is her middle name, was her maiden name. We used to joke because my Auntie Arlene, she had one sister 3 years older, who's actually watching on YouTube right now, and she's going to be 90 tomorrow. Happy birthday. So her middle name was Bain too, because they couldn't afford middle names. Anyways, my Nana, Catherine, immigrated from Scotland when she was 5, from Aberdeen. And my grandpa, Peter Bain, immigrated when he was 17 from Wick, which is a really small fishing village in the far northern part of Scotland. My grandpa was one of 10 children. My Nana had one sister, and my grandpa was 5th of 10 kids. And the oldest 2 remained in Scotland, but the others, the parents and the other kids immigrated to Holyoke. And they were a very tight-knit family. The Bain siblings and all the cousins would get together almost every week. And they took annual vacations to York, Maine. And I remember Mom talking very fondly about, and my Auntie Arlene too, talking about all their get-togethers and how close everyone was, loving. And my mom would also spend a lot of time at her maternal grandparents' house. And she cherished playing cards and listening to the radio with her grandpa. So her upbringing was very important to her. I had given her a journal a long time ago, which was intended to write about her life to me. And she got as far as getting married, but between that and memoirs that she also wrote, and she got as far as her 4th child being born. So maybe someday we'll finish her memoirs. So what I was starting to say is in the journal, she wrote that she was very happy growing up as a child. She had a lot of fun. She never remembered worrying about anything. And then after graduating from high school, she worked at a bank with my dad's sister. And she wrote in the journal too that in high school, she thought my dad, they went to high school together. She thought he was a dork. But when he came to visit his sister in his Air Force uniform into the bank, she didn't think that any longer. So she really fell for him. They had a whirlwind dating period. My dad was in the service. He was on leave at that time. They dated for 2 weeks in June. And then he came back for 2 weeks in October. He asked her to marry him, and they married in December. So considering that, and they were 19 years old, it's amazing that it lasted 39 years. So, and my dad ended up getting stationed in Germany a month after their wedding. And then my mom moved there in June of the following year because she was maid of honor at her sister's wedding, so she had to stay for that. And she moved to Germany 9 years after World War II ended. So they were still rebuilding. I see some pictures and, you know, things are still bombed. And for a 19-year-old to come into that and not speak the language, and I think about that, and it's just amazing. And she wrote in her journal too that she decided she had to learn German. You know, she was alone in this little village and couldn't communicate. And part of what I'm talking about her life too speaks to her adaptability and her caring and accepting and just being the kindest person I know. So when they moved to Germany, they had a little bedroom on the 3rd floor of a house that was still being rebuilt. The bathtub was on the 2nd floor. The toilet was on the 1st floor. So, you know, that was a challenge. And so I was born there in Germany 6 days after her 21st birthday. And then they moved, when I was about 9 months old, they moved back to Massachusetts. My dad attended college, and during that time, Mom gave birth to Jim, her second. And almost exactly 2 years later, she had my sister Kirsten. And we all wish she could be here right now. At the time, my dad got a job as an engineer with General Electric, and his job took the family to many locations in the U.S. and Germany throughout our lives. Because GE was working with the military at the time on ballistic missile early warning systems. So we had wonderful travels. When Kirsten was a baby, my dad spent 6 years in Thule, Greenland with his brother. And then we moved to Clear, Alaska, which was pretty much out in the boondocks, also with his brother and my Aunt Carol and 2 of their kids. And we lived in a trailer court. And that speaks to my mom's adaptability again. And here she was with 3 young children, and she got pregnant with Carla in Alaska and had her in Alaska. And my dad worked long hours, and here this young woman with, you know, 4 young children was in a trailer where black bears used to come up to get into the trash. And, so it's amazing. And also the temperature. At one point, I think a month before Carla was born, the temperature in Clear, Alaska was -69. We then moved to Syracuse, New York for a little while before going back to Germany in 1962. In the interim, we also moved back to Massachusetts for a brief period in 65 and then back to Germany, where the youngest was born, Eric. So Eric and I were both born in Germany. And again, to speak to my mom's character and her strength, she packed up and moved to different parts of the world about 8 times within 8 to 9 years, with 3, then 4, and then 5 children, all by herself. My dad usually went ahead, and so she was left to pack, you know, and travel with us. So we eventually settled in Phoenix in 1974, and that's where 11 of her 14 grandchildren were born. The 3 youngest, well, actually not the 3 youngest, it's my son, but Eric's 3 kids were born in California. And so as I mentioned earlier, my mom and dad were married for 39 years and then unfortunately divorced, but they remained friends.
We always still had gatherings and they were both there. I'm very proud of my mom. She went back to school to become a medical assistant in her 50s, and she graduated with high honors. And after retiring in 2000, she moved to California, where she lived for 13 years. Most of the time was with Eric, and a few years with me also. And it ended up being a godsend that she moved back to Phoenix in 2013 because her daughter Kristen was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer a month after arriving, and I came back with her. So so glad that my mom and I were here to spend the last 2 years of Kristen's life with her. And during that time, my mom was also treated for cancer in 2014. So following Kristen's death, her health really declined. I can't imagine losing a child. So it became increasingly more difficult for her to be self-sufficient. And she spent the last 7 years with my sister, who's her caretaker. I'm so grateful to you. She ended up passing of natural causes because we really believed that it was her time and she wanted to go. And she died exactly the way she wanted to, at home, in her own bed, surrounded by her family on June 4th of this year. So that sums up her life. And now to speak to the woman that she was. And I just jotted down a few things. I didn't really write a eulogy. I was having a hard time with that. I just want to talk from my heart. So nothing is organized, and forgive me for that. But Mom was the definition of unconditional love and kindness to me. When I think of kindness, I think of my mom. And just an example, I just have a few examples to go with some of these traits. She wrote in her journal that after her grandpa died, her mom's father, her grandma shared a room with her in this apartment that her parents lived in. And her grandma snored very loudly. So my mom would go and sleep on the couch. And she had her mom wake her up early in the morning so she could climb back into her bed. So her grandma didn't know that. She didn't want to offend her grandma. But she was always so considerate of others. And she was also so accepting and understanding and open-minded. I don't think anyone can think of a time where she was really angry with anyone. And just as another example, well, also, if anyone in her family took the wrong path, she wouldn't denounce them, or she would listen and she would forgive. She always forgave. She loved unconditionally. Just another example is when I lived with her at one point, she had these two Hummel lamps on a corner hutch where our TV was, and they were very sentimental because she had bought them in Germany and sent them to her parents. And I was moving the hutch to get behind it, and both of the lamps fell on the roof of the shower. I was devastated, and I was in tears, walked into her room, and she said, what's wrong, what's wrong? And I told her, and she said, oh, they're just things, Lori. So, that she cared more about me being upset and crying than losing her Hummel lamp. She would validate you as a human with a soul, and things weren't important. She also had a sense of humor and could laugh at herself. And what brings to mind an example there is that my Auntie Arlene and her were close, but as teenagers, they fought over clothes, of course, and shoes. And my Auntie Arlene is 3 years older, so she had a job when my mom was still in high school, and she had nice clothes. And my mom was a well-dressed high schooler. She would steal her clothes and her shoes. And my mom's shoe size was a half size larger than my aunt's. So my aunt knew that she did that. And she even wrote in her journal that she was a brat to her sister. And just another cute example that she wrote, I mean, where she could laugh at herself because she put this in the journal, that her sister at one point was going out, she wanted to borrow one of her coats, and my mom said, no way. And my mom was going out too, so she wore one coat and took the other one with her, so her sister didn't wear it. And now what my mom meant to me, she was my rock for most of my life. She was the second parent to my two boys. My two sons grew up without a father and no grandparents on that side. So my mom and dad were their grandparents. And we lived with my mom or in the same townhouse complex. When my oldest child was growing up, and my mom loved sports, especially basketball and baseball. And I remember Kyle would go over there and sit on the floor with her watching the Suns play, and go Suns, they have to win for mom. And they held her in such high esteem and respected her more than me, which is fine with me. Because she loved them unconditionally. And that's where I stopped writing my notes. But just a few other things too. My mom enjoyed life. You know, everyone has, well, actually, I have a poem I was going to read too, but she loved to dance. My dad never liked to dance, but she even went out with Carla and Kirsten and I think Wendy, our cousin, we would go out dancing. And so one of the songs that's playing during the video is Moni Moni. She loved to dance to that. And she was an avid reader. She loved to read, and she also loved to crochet. And each of her 14 grandkids has a blanket that they got for their high school graduation. So they have that kind of thing. I wrote this poem for my mom years ago, and it's just entitled Thank You, Mom. As a gracious lady who always finds forgiveness in her heart, you have made me aware of the importance of giving ourselves. As a compassionate soul who knows much sensitivity and understanding, you have provided me with the traits required to help others. As a devoted wife whose love for my father was evident to me while growing up, you have molded my desire to feel the power of love. As a nurturing mother who values the individuals she gave life to, you have shown me that there is no love quite as special as a mother's love. As a supportive parent who has always believed in her children, you have taught me to believe in myself. As a woman alone who started a new midlife career, you have inspired me to do the same. There are obstacles and detours on the journey through life. The strong, determined, and dedicated meet these challenges and eventually reach their destinations. You have prepared me with the necessary conviction to endure and succeed in life. My heart is filled with reverence and gratitude to you all.
Just thank you all for coming, celebrating our mother. Apparently Lori covered the entire chronology. So, thank you. Something I would like to add, I have a little known fact, in 1978, on 36th Drive, in the kitchen, roughly 2 o'clock in the afternoon, she stubbed her toe on the kitchen table. I miss that. So, at the risk of being redundant after Lori and then perpetuating the redundancy, I have to say about my mother, and those of you who knew her, she was the kindest, most loving, good-hearted person I have ever known in my entire life. And I've known quite a few good people. A lot of you are here right now. You know who you are. Everybody's looking. So she was just a simple person. She wasn't extravagant. She wasn't profound. That wasn't her nature. She was just down to earth, like her parents, like Nani and Grandpa Bain. She was just salt of the earth. Yeah, and in that context, one of her go-to phrases or expressions was, "I can't be bothered." That was Nana Bain's expression as well. I think she stole it from her, but I think she meant it more than Nana Bain. I can't be bothered. So I don't know if some of you may know, I've had some medical issues and because of that, I've outgrown most of my clothes. So I didn't have any dress clothes that would fit me. I was going to wear just shorts and my logic was, well, I'd get dressed up or go buy new clothes or something, but I just can't be bothered. But I found a few things, so apparently I can be bothered. I semi-honored her in that regard. I want to talk about, because this is a personal time for me to share with you about my mother. My memories of her growing up, primarily my memories of my mother growing up were chasing me with a spatula. And then once I turned about 8 years old, and I could outrun her running and laughing. And she would, I got a perspective, I got to tell you. But and I remember all of those incidences, but what I remember mostly is not every time, but afterwards, she would come in and almost apologetically let me know she loves me, and then I would get the hug. And if any of you have ever hugged her, and I'm sure most of you probably have, it's that's when you know everything is okay with the world. And, so I was gonna bring some peanut M&Ms and pass out. In fact, I thought about getting snack packs and tossing them out. I was advised not to for safety reasons. I decided not to because I just couldn't be bothered. That's pretty much. Oh, one thing, I don't need to diminish the value of my siblings, but her regard for me was sort of in the form of a deity. I should explain. I'd often say things to her, and she would say, "Oh God," and I'd say, "Wow, I smell my mother when you say that." And then she looked at me and said, "Jesus," and I replied, "Okay, that'll do." But you see, this is who and what she was. She loved us. She loved us. She loved people. You would have to be pretty cruel and evil for her to not love you. So I'm not going to take up a whole lot of time. Lori didn't leave us much, but Jack would like to share our person's behalf, and he is very much in every way a part of our family. As Kirsten would be if she could be here. And so thank you.
Well, when I was first offered an opportunity to deliver eulogy for Mom, I immediately started thinking about what I might say. I mentioned it to Linda. I said, well, what's your favorite memory of Connie? Well, after 42 years knowing Connie, you can imagine there are many. The one that burns most brightly in my mind was the first night that I met her. I asked Kirsten out for a date that night. It was Friday night. We agreed that I'd pick her up at the house. Kirsten knew her dad would be out that night. So it not only made for a less contentious pickup, but it would also be an opportunity for her to introduce me to her mom. Some of you may have known or will know soon that at that time, I was not, let's just say, on Miss Jolin's Christmas. So we didn't really avoid those interactions, but we didn't seek them out either. When I arrived and Kirsten answered the door, I was a little apprehensive because I was assuming both Mom and Dad would be there. I must admit, I was a bit relieved when I found out Dad was gone. But within minutes of walking in the door, Mom came down the stairs. She was wearing her nightgown, and Kirsten proceeded to introduce us. We sat down on this red Scotch plaid couch in the living room at 36. To my delight, that interaction with Connie was significantly different than my first interaction with her dad. I often wondered why Connie was so sweet and receptive to me when her husband was clearly not a fan. I think part of it was to make up for the fact that Jim did everything he could to make every interaction as uncomfortable as possible for both Kirsten. I also figured, well, she loved Kirsten. And for that reason alone, would have been receptive and supportive to anybody Kirsten brought along. But over the years, it became abundantly clear that that was simply who Connie was. Sweet, loving, supportive, empathetic, and the list goes on. It was simply her nature to wrap her arms around all of us and love us. That's exactly the relationship she and I enjoyed for the next 42 years. I think moving forward in my life, when I think of Mom, that first meeting, sitting on the couch, in a quiet house, just the three of us, will be the memory that continues to burn most brightly. 2 years later, Kirsten and I were married. May 1st, 1982, May Day. This picture was taken the morning before they headed off to St. Francis. As you can imagine, I've seen this picture hundreds of times in the last 40 years. When I look at it, I immediately get to thinking about all that happened that day. All of my family flew in from California. We were at the Best Western Hotel, for those who remember, Bell Road I-17, getting ready ourselves. Many of you were there that day. A traditional Catholic wedding, followed by, as Father Seaver, the priest who married Kirsten and I, would tell us several times, it's moments like this that I almost regret becoming a Catholic priest. He drank, he danced with the rest of us at the Knights of Columbus Hall until the liquor ran out twice. We packed it all up, we went back to the Olin's house and began to throw each other at the pool for the next 4.5 hours. Those have been the memories that came to mind whenever I saw this picture. Until a few days ago. While we were all scouring our photo albums looking for pictures of Mom, Lori sent out to several of us this picture. And when it popped up, the memories of that day came rushing back. Then I read Lori's message. She said, came across this photo and just brings out all the feelings again. And the heart. They're together again. It hit me like running into a wall. My reply was this: yes, they are together again. But they should be together here, not there. Kirsten left far too early. Jim left earlier than any of us expected. And Mom probably wished she had done a little sooner. God has a plan for all of us. So yes, they are together, which is comforting in many ways. But for me, now that Mom has joined them, it's the same again.
Use the accessory to that. It's quite fashionable. Wait, Jack. So I'm Carla. I'm Connie's fourth child. So the first thing I would like to say is that my mom was the most perfect person I know. Her love was absolutely unconditional, and she was the epitome of a non-judgmental person. Everyone that knew her loved her. Every time I told her how perfect she was, she would always tell me how crazy I was. And that's what made her perfect, because she was so humble about herself. I had the honor of caring for her for the last 7 years. I was able to see her every day. We would sit on the patio in the mornings having coffee, chatting, laughing, or on our phones on Facebook. We would show each other videos of pimple popping because we love that. She loved her family and missed them terribly this last year and a half. Thank God for Zoom. She gave the best hugs and kisses. I love to stare into her eyes because they were the most beautiful blue I've ever seen. She was just so perfect in every way. Now I would like to say a few words to Mom directly. Mom, I want you to know you were my best friend, my role model, my companion. If I knew a fraction of the person you were, then I would have left. I miss you terribly. I miss making your coffee every morning. I miss making sure you take your pills every day. I miss hearing you say my name when you would yell for me because you needed something. I miss your kisses and your hugs. I even miss being frustrated with you when I couldn't get you to leave the house. Like when you would have a doctor's appointment and didn't want to go because you didn't feel well. That's why you go to the doctor. I miss your words of gratitude when I would bring you your dinner, telling me how great it looked, even though we both knew it didn't always look that great. I miss your endless questioning on when we were doing your Zoom meetings, because you were always so excited about them. I miss having to constantly help you with the remote so you could watch Outlander. I miss
miss your conversations about your Scottish heritage and growing up with Nana and Grandpa Bain. I love the stories about how amazing Nana Bain was and how loving Grandpa Bain was. I loved hearing about your relationship with Auntie Arlene and how close you two were. I miss the look on your face when I would brush your hair. I would take extra long because I know you loved it so much. I miss everything about you, the good and the bad, although there was way more good than bad. I hope you are dancing up in heaven with Daddy and Kirsten because we all know how much you love to dance. I am so glad we were able to give you the passing you wanted. You are home in your own bed, surrounded by the family who loved you so very much. I promised I would always keep you with me and never put you in a home. I am honored to be able to have fulfilled that promise. Now, my promise to you is that I will continue life without you, but you will be in my heart always. I love you forever. Rest in peace, Mama. I know Mom would like you all to know that she lived a very happy and fulfilling life. She is now reunited with the love of her life, my dad, and her precious daughter, my sister Kirsten. So let's not be sad and celebrate this amazing woman. Thank you all for being here.
Hi, I'm Eric. I'm the baby. And the favorite. Well, I'm Kirsten that died, but favorite now. I want to talk about what's left and what's lost. We have ashes, we have memories. That's all that's left. I'm really, really sad. I've never been this sad. And I've had to listen to Jim tell dad jokes. Usually when I get flooded with emotion, I try to figure out why, what good are they? They usually come from an evolutionary place where they have some meaning. And so I give them credence and try to figure out how to fix whatever's wrong. That's me feel it. I can't put my finger on it. And I was talking to my grief counselor about what's the point of this? I can't do anything with this. And she explained that it's not to do something that it's so that we can weigh the importance of the thing that we lost. I occupy a lot of my time trying to figure out what to do, what I should be doing, what I ought to do. My imperative. And I didn't have an imperative. I didn't know what to do after Mom died. And I've been putting a lot of time trying to figure it out. I was asking Jack, should I refer to Connie as Connie or Mom or Nana? And I think you snarkily said yes. The point is that she's all those things. she's my mom. And when she was living with us, because my kids got to spend so much time with her, she was Nana. She just became Nana. That was her identity. That was her role. I called her Nana. She's in my phone as Nana. Getting to become a grandparent is one of the greatest things for me, barring the interruptions. And having my mother achieve great grandmotherhood is quite the achievement. Not just because we're all readers. We are. But because we all get to carry a piece of her. What a beautiful progeny. I was going to say a bunch of stuff about love and perfection and blah, 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 but that was already covered. One of the things that everyone was afforded from my mother was grace. Everyone had space, had a place in her heart, her home, in her mind, and she really, truly, deep down loved everyone. I can't do that. I'm working on it. I started with what's left, ashes, memories, but there's so much more. I hope I get to hear anyone say, "Oh, you're just like your mom." I love you. I want to thank you all for coming. I love you.
Mom had very few specific requests for her memorial service. First and foremost, keep it simple. I think we failed miserably. With relatively few directions, which I think was Mom's attempt to help us keep it simple. And a bunch of siblings, nieces and nephews, everyone had their own idea of how Mom wanted the service to be. Throw in a bunch of people who loved her deeply. They all had visions of what they wanted for her. She's no doubt looking down on us, shaking her head, rolling her eyes, as we were spinning and grinding on every detail. Really, you guys? So after going past the first request, I think we've successfully been able to honor her second too. Her second request was to play Amazing Grace on the back. This most of you probably heard because Kirsten, in honor of her mother, asked that this be played at her funeral service. And so it was at the cemetery 5.5 years ago. Unfortunately, Mom was not able to attend that service. Spirit while the rest of us enjoyed life. So for consistency's sake, if nothing else, Mom will once again enjoy this in spirit, while the rest of us enjoy it live. So as we depart at the end of this service, if you walk out quietly, you will hear Mom's second request. For your benefit, Casey printed the words of Amazing Grace on the back of the prayer card. And on the front is the poem that Andy wrote for his mother. So what more fitting to have a person offer this up to hers. So for the full effect of Mom's request, you can follow along with the words as the bagpipes play. However, before we get to that, Mom had a third request, and that was the recitation of the Lord's Prayer, which I'm honored to lead us through now. So please join me in the Our Father. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. On behalf of the entire Oakland family, we want to thank you for coming. Mom lived a full life for which we're all grateful. And we appreciate everybody being here to help celebrate that life. On Monday morning, Mom's ashes will be inurned at Holy Redeemer Cemetery. Mom's will be one door down from Kirsten. If you recall, Dad received a military burial at National Cemetery, which lies right next door to Holy Redeemer. So Lori was right. To the best of our ability, we will be together again. Meanwhile, we'd like to invite everybody to join us in the reception hall for a glass of wine and an opportunity to visit and continue the celebration of Connie's life. So, the prayer card in hand, and if you didn't have it, it's by the guest register on the table. And quiet reflection as we leave. Please join us in the reception hall.